tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, the Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Polish Heavy, the 60 TP. In the latest updates and patches of Blitz, I've seen less and less of these vehicles rolling around in the battlefield. I've seen more Krons, as the Kron got a slight buff in Update 9.1. I've seen a lot of Type 71s, as that's become the new trend for everybody to drive. The 2 and 5B kind of had its redemption with its huge DPM and as well HE penetration buffs. There's just a lot of heavies that are super popular right now. The one that I don't see, surprisingly a lot, is this, the 60 TP. Now the 60, I guess the main reason why people don't drive it as much is because the E100 got a huge traverse buff and turret armor buff. However, that does not mean that this vehicle is ruled out. In fact, the 60 is an absolutely fantastic vehicle. It has great gun depression, sitting at 7 degrees. Its alpha is absolutely gigantic at 600 damage per shot, although you do suffer with your accuracy at 0.385 and a 5-second aiming time, so you're not going to be getting the job done quick when it comes to aiming in, but when you do hit a shot, wow, it is going to absolutely outtrade and bonk somebody's hit points down by quite a bit. When it comes to the penetration, it's really good, 271 on the standard, 363 on the premium, and because it does carry a 150, it has 88 millimeters of high explosive pen, although a pretty lame 680 alpha. Basically, when aiming at any vehicle that could be running SPAL, you might as well just fire standard because it's going to be a lot better for you. When it comes to mobility, 15 in reverse and 36 as a top speed. However, that's not actually correct because in provisions you can increase its top speed upwards to 40 with improved gear oil and as well increase the reverse speed up to 19, and you can get it even faster at 21 in reverse and 42 as a top speed, but I don't really find the point of running both gear oils, as it is a bit more important for me to run, I would say, improved gunpowder, which gives you 35% shell velocity, and then as well you always want to run food because that gives you 10% to crew mastery. So as you can see, the 60's got a lot of great things going for it, and that's not all. It also, I should point out, has tungsten shells, increasing your average damage from what is normally 600 to 690. That also, in effect, increases your average damage per minute, and if you're running as well adrenaline, it means that you can increase your DPM even a further 20% more. Now, to be fair, there are downsides with doing double consumable, because that means I'm only running one repair kit. So, if I get tracked, yeah, I might not want to use the repair kit, and if it's an autoloader, that could hurt a lot, you know? So you gotta be very careful when only running one repair kit, not to overexpose your track wheel, but that's just kind of how the 60 is. Now, we're going to make our way into the front line. What I will say is that you might think, well, how's the armor on the vehicle? Well, it's actually fantastic. The upper plate's around 330 base, which means you're going to have to load heat to penetrate it, and that also means that if you're hull down, you're probably never going to pen the upper plates. The turret has one weak spot. It's a hatch on the roof. Apart from that, good luck penetrating the turret on the 60. It's actually pretty dang strong. As you can see here, this is where the decent mobility of the tank comes into play. It's pretty fast. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the fastest heavy out there, especially on power to weight. A Type 71 would absolutely floor the 60 on climbing up a hill. However, not everything is about getting from position instantly, because this tank just has the alpha to outtrade everybody. For example, I'm not scared of a single tank over here. Unfortunately, I did get tracked, but that doesn't worry me all too much, because Bat Chat, boom, and now the Bat Chat's down 570 health, and then we just put on our adrenaline. Now, unfortunately, you can see my teammates are kind of pooping in my way here, but we should be all fine. We're just gonna speed on down. Got the, what is it, the 4202 off to the side. Ooh, that was a bit unfortunate. Shot that because I know the 4202 is gonna try and get out, where the rest of these guys aren't going to get out, but let's just give this guy a good old ram. Boom! There you go. Long live that player. We have the 57 heavy off to the side. Let's put on our tungsten and, ooh, 695 into his vehicle. A fantastic example of where the alpha on this vehicle, especially with tungsten, is just basically unrivaled. So, let's back up the hill. I mean, looking at what's going on right now, the K91 finishes off that player. The enemy team has 4 vehicles left, although we only have 5, and our STB is a one-shot, so do got to be a little cautious there. Now, it appears that the T100 LT is No, I was going to say sending it up the bridge, but maybe not. Well, you know what? I see this, and this is a free chunk of damage right here. You do got to wait a long time to aim in, but once you get that shell locked and loaded, it is not going to miss. I mean, that was a pretty easy shot. We have the T100 LT off to the side, and I mean, we're getting hit by these guys, but it doesn't really matter too much to me. We're just going to drive over here. Back up for me, please. I wouldn't back up like that, but alright, that's up to you. Hello, 50 TP. How are you doing? I'm just gonna keep on going, and, well, if you're gonna show me your engine deck, I'm gonna shoot you. I mean, why wouldn't I? So, a pretty easy shell there. We're reloading in just a moment here, and you can see this is where the good gun depression on the vehicle comes into play. Also, the pretty solid damage per minute. So, I'm not gonna bother with an HE shell on this guy. Instead, we're gonna get a 750 damage max roll. Pretty good if I say so myself. I don't think we're going to get any more damage out this game. I mean, you can see, yeah, this guy got absolutely bonked, but doesn't really matter. We already did over 3,000 damage, and we did our job. We completely scared the crap out of the enemy on the bridge, and there's nothing they really were able to do. You can see where that alpha damage just hits so hard. Sure, if you're driving a Type 71, you might get more shells out. You might not miss as much. But it's the fact that this vehicle can absolutely hold a line, especially with that fantastic armor. It's just such a hard vehicle to deal with. And I should also mention, even though it did lose a bit of HP, it still sits at 2,650, which is a lot. In fact, that's, I think, 150 more than a vehicle like the Type 71, which does give it that little bit of extra survivability. It's kind of crazy to think previously it was at 2,756, but even then, it's still a lot of HP for a heavy tank. Now, I will say, power to weight, not great. You can see that here. Again, a Type would absolutely smash this tank getting into initial position. But once you get this vehicle into a position, I mean, it's such a hard vehicle to dig out with that alpha. So, trying to think on how we want to work this position, we've spotted a 57 heavy off to the side, and I'm actually thinking that I want to go up top. I have no clue how these mediums would counter me if I just drove up here. I mean, not only do I have enough alpha to absolutely bedonk them. Now, it might be the case that these... Oh, yeah, that guy's running. Okay, well, if the 4202 is going to run... Boop! Aww! Kind of hoping we could hit that, but unfortunately not able to. That is obviously one of the downsides when it comes to the 60, again, is hitting shots at distance. But that's not too much of a worry. We're going to make our way into the front line here. Hopefully our team doesn't blow this. I mean, it's a pretty easy win. You can see that poor T-57 Heavy is being absolutely pooped on. But I'm not too much of a 57 worry player, because by the time I get there, that dude's going to be down all of his health. So instead, I'm going to drive up this hill, and, well, let's see if I can bedonk the Hori. Let's put on our tungsten, and boop! Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 597 damage right there. Didn't even get spotted because the player is behind a hill. Now, we've put on our adrenaline, which allows me to reload another shell, maybe into the side of this 263 with tungsten. Oh, my God! One thing that does come with the addition of alpha is the addition of module damage. Now, it might be a little crazy to assume, but module damage also allows you to have a higher chance of ammo racking people because you deal more damage to those modules. Oh my God, I cannot believe we just basically demolished that full health vehicle. Now, we do have the Patton off to the side. That Patton is going to try and run, but you know what he's going to run from? Oof, a 659 shot. Oh my, you can see just how the 60 gets the job done. Even if we hadn't have gotten that ammo rack, we still would be sitting at a pretty healthy chunk of damage here. Oh no, the Hori shot me. What will I ever do? Oh, wait. Hello, object. How are you doing? You're not going to be doing much of anything in a moment here. Yeah, I gotta say, you're not gonna like me. Well, it's not really gonna matter. I mean, this guy's gonna be pooped on in a second. Well, maybe not. Boom! We did get it out. I thought that Foch was gonna get the shell out before us, but he didn't. And there you have it. A 4,900 damage battle. To be fair, a pretty big portion of that. I would say 1,300. Sure, I got a 1,900 damage ammo rack, but you do got to keep in mind that I still would have gotten about 700 off of him. So yeah, I'd say about 1,200 of those hit points were from the ammo rack, but I still would have easily done, even subtracting 1,200, 3,700. I mean, it would have been a pretty solid game either way. You can just see again where the 60 is so dang strong. I'm going to finish off by actually showcasing a replay on the 60 because I feel like that game was so fast. I want to show a game where the 60 does such a good job holding, and just where it is fantastic once again at doing everything well. So I'm going to skip a little bit ahead because obviously the beginning's just me driving, but we catch an Apex player out in the open. The pathing I took here, I just don't think he expected me to go towards medium side, and yeah, that was worth the tungsten shot. So already I'm up to 690 damage right in the beginning of the game. You can imagine now if I was in any other heavy, I probably wouldn't have even gotten an extra after 400 out. So that is where, again, the alpha on this vehicle just feels so nice, is when you're able to hit somebody for so hard. Now we got the side of the Minotauro, 627 tap into his vehicle. Again, another example where if I had a 400 alpha vehicle, unless it was an auto reloader or an auto loader, I would not have been able to get another shell into that vehicle. So we are up to 1,300 damage dealt in just 2 shots. I mean, that's insane. It really is. And unlike the E100, I can work this position very well because of my very versatile armor. The E100's not very versatile on the playstyle it has. It's really push, big armor, go burr. So we got the Minotauro. He pokes like a doofus. Bleeds 722 to me. What I find incredible is that my Minotauro manages to throw this. Dude throws 2014 health in a matter of about a half a second. I don't even know what to say about that, but welcome to Blitz, ladies and gentlemen. So we're up to 2,000 damage, but there's a lot of tanks here, and a lot of these tanks are very deadly. Now I know because I carry such a high caliber gun, I can overmatch the roof of that E3. So I just tap him with a heat shell because of the angle that I'm sitting at here, and that was 2,600 hit points slapped off of his vehicle. We're gonna aim in another heat shell, and look at that, just such an easy overmatch. That dude's down about 1,000 health right now. There's really nothing he can do to me. And now we have our tungsten back, which means, sure, we used our adrenaline, but now I've got another high DPM capability. Sheridan gets a slap into me, and I was like, you know what? No, nah, I'm not letting you get away with that. There you go. Enjoy a 600 damage shot, and now you're not too happy anymore. 3,700 damage dealt, and, well, let's see what else we can do. You're going to notice that an E50M, weirdly enough, yes, an E50M is going to start shooting me in the rear on the other side of the map. I was really hoping I could clear this Sheridan, but he dies. I'm going to start pushing over this way. Again, that pesky little E50M camping on heavy side gets another shell into us, but, oh, another tungsten shot. 695 there, and we back up again. You can see that reverse speed being absolutely fantastic. 4,431 damage dealt. With that, we have one more shell ready to rumble. We still got our tungsten active and a 698 slapperoonie, finishing off with 5,129 damage. We don't get any more damage out this game. You can see I just keep on driving, and yeah, I don't really get anything else out. So, unfortunate, but the fact that we were able to just poob on the enemy like that, it shows where the 60 is so strong. Yes, vehicles like the Type 71 have armor. They have mobility, but you know the Type could not have deal with that E3 just the way I did. The Type could not have hit the opponents as hard as I did. The 60 TP punishes people for making mistakes, and it does such a good job at that. At one time, I hated the gun on this vehicle, but it's definitely grown on me, and this triple helping of gameplay really showcases where the 60 is just an uncounterable beast. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.